just to get to that 60-minute show, which is literally 10 songs, then you get to hop around on stage, and for that little bit of love between, you know, this and people singing the song with you, that's the reward. The other 12 hours that went around that to make it happen and set up, load out, deal with, promote, and everything else, that's the hard part.
We're sitting at the Florida Man 105.5 radio station. I'm sitting here with
Kenny the Rocker Wilkerson.
That's me.
Nice to see you.
On purpose.
We're gonna start way back to when you were a child.
Wearing diapers.
Yes.
When everything was black and white.
That's right. Okay, so what did you want to be when you were younger?
When I was really young, I mean, I wanted to be like every kid. I either wanted to be an astronaut, a football star, fireman, you know, the basics. You know, I didn't get into music until I was about 12 or 13. Is when I got into that. Prior to that was all sports. But
okay, what got you into music?
Girls. I don't care what they say. I don't care. They're all lying if it's not about the girls. But no, I tell the story that the first gig I did, I was 15. My mom had to drop me off at the show. It was a house party. It wasn't really a show. It was just a house party. There was 10 people there. I think we knew 8 songs as a band. Like I said, I couldn't even drive there yet. I wasn't old enough to have my driver's license. There was 3 girls at the party. That was it. It's a sausage fest. And all 3 of the girls tried to pick me up. So from that day on, I knew I wanted to be in rock and roll.
How did Nova Rex get started?
Nova Rex, what happened, that band has been around since 1985. The band originally was formed in Canada with the original guitar player, J.P. Cervoni, who I'm still played shows with and talked to and whatever. But that's been pretty much it. I mean, that's how I got started. I met JP when he moved the band from Canada to Florida when I was 18 years old. I mean, a month out of high school. And here I am 35 years later. I grew up in Indiana. That's where I'm originally from.
How did you get to Florida?
I went to California when I graduated the month before. Like the day I graduated, I took all my graduation money, went to Los Angeles. I lived there for a month in a hotel. No car, nothing, completely crazy. So when my money ran out, I had the right idea, I was just too young. So when my money ran out, I went back home for like a week, and then my uncle lived here. I had an uncle that lived in Altamont. So I came down here, and then that's just never really left. I mean, I have left, but I'm back.
Who were your role models?
Oh my gosh, not getting mushy saying my dad and all that, but all the bad guys. I mean, Motley Crue, Ozzy, Whitesnake, Van Halen. Yeah, so I'm mentally destroyed.
All right, so what are some challenges that you face being a rocker?
It's just keeping relevant, you know, keeping out there over the years. Obviously, you know, we went from, you know, flyering to, you know, Facebook, right? So there's been a big gap in between, and just trying to stay relevant, really.
What is your favorite part about being an artist?
Wow, I would have to say playing live. That's probably the thing. I mean, everybody talks about it.
Touring in a rock band in the 80s was unbelievable. It was a great time to be playing music for a living, and it was an incredible learning experience because you had to do or die. You had to play everybody else's music in order to make a living, but you had to write your own music in order to be original. So it was a learning experience in how to write songs, how to be in a partnership with a bunch of different people, how to run a small business. And quite frankly, if it wasn't for the help of some dear friends, then we probably would have survived it. And we learned how to eat on $5 a week. And that's not a joke. What
is your best piece of advice to others on pursuing your dreams or passions?
I'm not very good with quotes, okay. But the one quote that I do know is the one by Ricky Bobby. You know that one?
If you ain't first, you're last.
That I do know, but I would say my piece of advice is, depending on whatever you do, you just have to believe in it. Nothing is free, so you have to work for everything you get. Basically, the thing about the music business is there is no brass ring. There's no, like everybody, when you're a kid, you're like, if I only got that, if I only did this, if I only made that happen, then my life would be, it doesn't work like that. You have to constantly battle. There is no cap. There's no, like I said, there's no brass ring. So I think if you can make money and pay your power bill, your rent, and feed your kids on rock and roll, then you are officially a you're a full-time musician.
That's true.
I mean, that's it. So the only difference between you and, say, a guy like Metallica is they just have more money.
That's true.
And maybe play in front of a bigger crowd. But again, how many groupies do you need after a concert?
What are you working on now?
Well, what I'm working on right now is this right here. If you guys can take a look at that. It's a brand new book. We just got it in. It's called Rockin Recipes For Autism. If you go to rockinrecipesforautism.com, you can pre-order the book. Well, you don't have to pre-order it anymore. You can actually buy the book. It has 57 rockers in it. Guys from Ozzy, Whitesnake, Quiet Riot, Warrant, Poison, Great White, Queen's Right, Dawkins in it. I've got Steve Wilkerson from Toto's in it. He has a son with autism. And basically, it's just a cookbook of their favorite recipes. Net proceeds of the book goes to We Rock for Autism, a 501c charity out of South Florida that does music therapy for kids on the spectrum. And it's a great book. It's a combination. What I like about the book, if you happen to want to see what, say, Ricky Rockin from Poison cooks, and you happen to be a music fan, that's great. For a lot of people that like to cook. All the recipes are in here. A lot of them are family recipes, and then people that just want to support autism as well.
So you have a son with autism. Do you use music therapy?
We've been through all of it. He's high functioning and he has Asperger's. It's a little different. When he was younger, noise, vacuum cleaners, dryers, hand washing, obsessed with a few different things. He had all those little issues. Wouldn't take the stairs till he took the stairs. Now he's a little bit older now, so he's being able to cope a little bit better. But we were musically, there's music in our household at all times, and he owns a keyboard. He's had guitars. So they hear things differently.
I mean, you just so happen to be in music.
Oh, it fell in my lap. It was a no-brainer. What happened was I started getting these recipes when I had my old radio show, and then I just started collecting them. And then I found the charity. I seen them at festivals. I knew they were legit. And then with my son and my story, and then the recipes and the book, and then because I know, I mean, a lot of these guys I've played on the road with, you know, like for instance, Don Dawkins was like one of the last guys in the book, and I did a show with him in August, and we were eating dinner together at the site, at the venue, and he's like, hey, I'm a cook. So I'm like, yeah, you know, so you just meet people along the way.
Any advice for anyone wanting to be a musician?
Go to school. No, I'll tell you this, if I worked as hard as I did in music and I was in any other profession, I would be retired by now. So, but just do what you love.
Leah, take one.
Leah, it's been a long, long time. You're such a sight. You're looking